Gripping, the conversation between alien and aliens. I find it interesting that with such a variety of difference between them, alien and aliens, by very separate and distinct genre routes, end up putting the viewer in the same physical and emotional state, gripping the armrest while knuckling their way through the stacking tension. The implication is that is the frequency at which this story resonates, an inescapable broadcast of shattering anxiety. The xenomorph in this series appears as a sci-fi update of the Grim Reaper, hooded, faceless, brandishing a scythe. It represents the inexorable, Terminator-like march of our own demise. There's a slim chance you can stave off this iteration, but it's not going to go well for you by design. The perfect organism. The Antichrist, a dark transmedium angel. Scott's movie excelled at building an environment real enough to make you uncomfortable. The disease and death problem of deep space pressing, gripping the Nostromo's metal shell, trapping you inside with that thing. This is its first achievement. The newly fashionable notion of used future being further illuminated and defined in a way that continues to inspire and influence generations of art directors and set designers worth a damn. It continues to establish the flying oil refinery drudgery by having the balls to allow characters to talk over each other in precisely the way that everyone else does in real life all the time, everywhere. When did you recall hearing that on screen? No one dares, but it doesn't get any realer. So we have a haunted house in space, and then we have a sci-fi war movie. One terrifying monster and a hive of even more terrifying monsters, and a constant northern star throughout. Ellen Ripley. Surrounded by hordes of motley crewmen, corporate creeps, and hillbilly hellraisers, Ripley is always the most capable, grounded, determined, and brave. She will confront her gravest fears head-on, out of an apparent sense of grim personal duty, a resentful babysitter when someone else's kids are acting out. The mirroring of Sigourney's influence and presence in Hollywood and her character arc are fascinating. Weaver arrived at the Alien audition late, wearing heels so high she was a foot taller than Ridley Scott, and gave him notes on the script. So at least as terrifying as the alien, and equally daunting as fridge demon Dana. She said that in many ways she began to feel like Ripley. Unknown stage actress walks in, takes no nonsense, gets the part, becomes a Hollywood power player. Ripley does the same thing on the Nostromo. The Nostromo crew famously were underprepared for their encounter. So too, apparently, was Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick called Ridley Scott to find out how he pulled off the chestburster scene, a moment that gave Kubrick, a Scorsese-level scholar of film, one of his biggest scares. And we're all still feeling the impact. Like a high-flying 80s executive, James Cameron was one step ahead of everyone. He knew about your questions. You want to have the cast but arm them? You want more aliens? Hands. Bubby. I'm your white knight. But it's not long before everyone realizes that all the weapons you can pack are not going to be enough. To imagine your adversary thinks like you is the first mistake. They are nothing like you. They are not even a they. This is the premise for a real war movie. And the heart of the movie is Newt's ability to survive in an environment where no one can live. Ripley recognizes that guile. She recognizes herself. Inanna, a Sumerian goddess that will smash through 7 gates of hell to rescue the most precious thing. A tale 5,000 years old. And we're all still holding our breath. Breathe.